What's up guys? I am Juan and you're watching my channel BlueprintPC. So if you like tech reviews, news, how-to, all that kind of fun junk, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more. So if you're not new to my channel, you're probably looking around like this looks a little different, and it is. Since I built that guy, I've done some rearranging and whatnot, just to kind of freshen it up, and again, I'm trying to do more, so I needed to kind of rearrange things and do some stuff a little bit differently. So yeah, it may stay this way, it may not. So pardon for any of the mess or clutter right now. I'm still kind of feeling it out. So yeah, today this is episode 4 Tech Lounge, and this is going to be essentially the ugly truth, because we're talking about a lot of ugliness today, at least in my opinion, and that's exactly all it is. It's my opinion because, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and well, I'm not beautiful, and you know, this is just strictly my 2 cents as to what I think about some design choices that a few companies have done recently. We're going to talk mostly about Sony and Nvidia. I'm going to put these bigger on the screen here, but in the back here on this screen, you may be able to see where I have the PlayStation, the Xbox Series X, whatever they're going to call that. If I'm sure they're going to come out with another name for the non-disc drive version of it. So yeah, I think it was Fractal that did the H1 tower style. It's pretty much a symbol, you know, kind of almost very similar in kind of copying almost the Xbox One Series X. I don't know who came up with what design first, but whatever. So the Series X, mind you, it's nothing flashy, it's nothing crazy, but it doesn't look bad. And everybody pretty much went, hey, congratulations, you made a tower PC. No shit, Sherlock. Great. And whatever, so it's not an ugly duckling, but it's nothing, you know, super exciting or crazy. So Xbox kind of went the safe route. So a little while back we saw some what were like sneak peek little like rumored photos of the PlayStation 5, and my source for this one, as I'm just using off of ps5home.com, which you see on the screen behind me, this is what they consider the pizza oven heater warmer one, because this little cutout here in the middle you can use to put a piece of pizza there and warm it up. This is probably one of the dev kits they sent out. Very wonky. I don't know if it's pretty. Maybe if they filled that in and just put vents on the top, it would have been a little better looking and not so awkward. But it wasn't horrible. It had potential, and I think that's kind of one of those things where it's like, ooh, okay. And I mean, at first I was like, what the hell is that thing? Because it's kind of goofy, and the V, which I think if people didn't realize, the V is the Roman numeral for 5 for PlayStation 5. So that's probably why it was a dev kit or some kind of, you know, temporary release to kind of see, hey, who's going to let this leak? PlayStation 5 concept that I saw come out, which I'm going to go to the sun.co.uk for. I saw this one. I wasn't impressed. I thought it was kind of like, meh, okay. But I honestly thought that was going to be pretty close to what the actual PlayStation 5 was going to look like. I figured that's a pretty safe concept. It's going to function well. It's going to do the job. And it's going to be the evolution of their format. Well, of course we were wrong. Most likely by the time you're watching this, you've probably already seen it. And Linus Tech Tips probably did the best comparison for this one, where they said it was the Eye of Sauron from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I don't know. It's dramatic. It's out there. I'll give them that, because it's nice to see them take a chance to do something that's different. That is exciting. I'll give them that. It is exciting, and I do like, if you didn't already notice, along the fins on the side there where it V's up, they at least appears to be some form of illumination, some form of lighting. I don't know if it's coming through the fins or if it's done somewhere else. It's kind of hard to tell, but in some like the little videos I've seen of it, you can pick up a little bit of illumination. So it does look good. It's got some accent lighting. One of my biggest qualms that I have with it right now is the fact that it's gonna be farking tall and it's skinny. I mean, yes, you can lay it horizontal apparently, which I think is just gonna be kind of awkward. I mean, I guess it's got to be stable enough, but that awkward shape does limit where you can put it, because some of us have some, you know, they put your system on like the edge of the TV on the stand, or you put it in a shelf where it can barely fit, and you know, having these awkward shapes is going to make that, you know, more limited as to where you can actually put that. And now my thing with the height of that is, if I'm sorry, sometimes you're in a hurry to take a piss before the next round starts. You're trying to make a snack in between rounds. You're doing something fast. We're gamers. We're trying to stay in the game as long as possible, and we're running doing stuff. As soon as you even breathe on that thing, it's gonna freaking lean over and fall and then smash to the ground. So I hope to God Sony is building that thing pretty robust and durable, because you're probably gonna see those freaking things breaking. When that gets released, we're probably gonna see a slew of, you know, things on, like, just memes or whatever. Those things just come tumbling down and just smashing, whether it's streamers or whatever. We're gonna see them come crashing down. At least that's my theory. Yes, they do have a pretty wide base on it. I will give them credit for that, because they're probably aware of that. But I bet you that they didn't have that wide of a base when they were first designing it. They're probably like, oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome, it's great. And then they realize, oh shit, this thing's gonna fall over without anything touching it. So they're like, let's just put this big, ugly, flat base underneath it. So, I don't know. Sorry, bit of a rant there on that one. But styling-wise, it looks like a sports car company trying too hard. It's out there, and again, I give them credit for doing something different. But I think they could have made it a little more subdued. I mean, yes, like I said, it's exciting to some extent, but I think they could have made it a little more form and function ready. And even that too, you're getting a USB and USB-C port in the front. I would probably like more, maybe even along the bottom, you know, or on the side somewhere for better access than the two up top in the middle, because that to me just seems kind of stupid too. Why do you want two of them dead set in the middle, where if you have a cord or something plugged into that, which hopefully you won't, but if you do, and you jerk it and wobble it, it's just gonna, you're talking middle, you know, force, it's gonna go and done. So that's part of my little tangent on there. And this one is from GiveMeSport.com. They just put them side by side. Just figure I'll let you guys take a quick peek at them when they're, you know, next to each other. And again, guys, this is laid back, so I'm gonna have some more coffee. So, if you don't see it right here, you see my little keyboard. I can see it on the camera now. I have my laptop off camera, so I can do this for you guys. So, now we're gonna get into the other one. Nvidia and all their fun craziness. As soon as I can figure out how I clicked on the wrong page, because I definitely did that. So, Nvidia's potential concepts for the 3080 or 3090 or whatever, we're not 110% sure yet. There's no like official word from Nvidia. The only thing that's kind of odd about this, which makes it seem like this may actually be the legitimate card, is because apparently Nvidia's pissed. Somebody let this go. Now they're kind of on a witch hunt, because believe it or not, usually the manufacturers have no problem leaking little bits and pieces of stuff because it builds excitement. They're like, oh, look what's coming out. We have this secret information that nobody else has. And really it's somebody from some kind of publicity rep person, can't think of the right term for it, publicist, something like that, whatever, that actually says, hey, go ahead and leak this. You know, they're like, leak this spec or leak this picture or screenshot or whatever. And we get these really odd coolers. And if that's for their for their Founders Edition card or whatever, I get that. That's fine. By all means, go ahead and do that. Those can be a little bit unique. And maybe that's something too they worked out with the board partners, and this is a small theory of my own, is maybe the board partners weren't as happy when the Founders Edition ones that they did release for the RTX line, the 20 series line, was a fairly decent performer. Yes, it wasn't the greatest cooling design, but it was actually an option to purchase. It wasn't just a blower type that was like, okay, hey, yes, it's the OEM version, but it was a decent card. You could buy that and be perfectly content using that card for its lifespan. And that created, you know, competition, which was good for Nvidia because it allowed them to sell their own product, but it was bad for the board partners. Maybe there's a little bit of grumblings, and maybe Nvidia was like, hey, you know what? We have to keep them happy because the board partners are Nvidia's first customer. You are also sort of their first customer, but you're the second customer in line. They have to sell the product to the board partners who then sell it to you. So Nvidia's got to make the product that you guys want, but they're selling it first to their board partners, EVGA, MSI, Gigabyte, all those companies, and then it's getting to you. So they have to make them want to buy it. If they start shorting their first customer, the first customer is going to tell them to sit and rotate, and they're going to be like, you know what, I'll just buy all my AMD shit, and then we'll sell that, and you guys can, you know, go do something to yourself. And so again, that's a possibility. So maybe they're making this design so unique and so proprietary that it'll give the board partners, you know, the ability to make a better performing or a more universally accepted design style. So that may be a possible theory, is that Nvidia's like, you know what, we're gonna do something unique, crazy, just something that stands out, that just kind of gets the eye appeal going, and you know, that way the board partners will put the, you know, more functional format ones out on the market. So styling wise, it's very cyberpunk. So this cooler isn't the best picture for that. Let's see, let's just pick one, see if I can get it. Will this work? Tweettown.com. My reference for this one now. So you can see in the picture behind me, it's kind of an X shape. I do like it because it kind of reminds me of like kind of Star Wars, or like a space fighter, like jet kind of thing, like a spaceship. Like it's just got those fins and that kind of that normal shape you'd see from like a thruster or something on a spaceship. So I do like that. I do think it's decent. The one fan and the one fan at the bottom, I think it's kind of wonky. And for me, what I at least looked from on the photos that I've seen with the way the fins line up, I get the concept. Air in, flows through, comes out the other end. But the way the fins are designed, they're not like, I don't know. I see some areas where there's gonna be some impedance for the airflow, and I don't know. That's just my personal 2 cents. I don't know how it's gonna work. And again, who knows why Nvidia did this? It appears to be a very proprietary type PCB that they're actually gonna put the processor on, and the RAM and everything else like that. So most likely the board partners will get a more natural rectangular, just basic board format that they can work with, unless they maybe, who knows, they may have the total freedom at this point in time. Build your own. Here's the chips, here's the RAM, go to town. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. So I just wanted to kind of get that out. I want your guys' opinion too. Do me a favor, tell me what you think of these in the, you know, what you guys think of these in the comments. You know, I'm kind of curious. I mean, I've seen what other reviewers have done. I've seen some of the things on Reddit and whatnot, but from my audience in general, I'm just kind of curious. What do you guys feel about this? Do you like the style that PlayStation's going with? Do you like the style that Xbox is going with? And then Nvidia. We've seen some minute teasers for what AMD might do, but we have no idea. They were super slim, just a shaded half slice of a GPU, so I don't even think those are worth really reviewing right now in any possibility, because we have no idea. And even with these, Sony released their official concept, Xbox did as well, so we know that. These Nvidia ones, we still don't know. So this may not be the final design. Keep that in mind. This is still like very much rumor mill, but there seems to be some validity to it, if I even said that correctly, or pronounced it correctly. But that's strictly because Nvidia appears to be kind of pissed off because somehow these photos got out, and I'm sure they're gonna find some way to track it down, and then somebody's gonna be in deep doo-doos. So yeah, but that's just what I kind of run a rant to you guys about, is the prettiness and not prettiness that's going on in the market right now with the designing and whatnot. And you know, if you guys have any ideas, again, just let me know. Tell me like what you would have done differently, even, you know, because again, with Sony, and I know it's getting kind of ranty, so I apologize. It's exciting, it's different. I just still think it was, I don't know, I just don't think it's there yet. I think it's getting there, but it just needs some more refinement. So, but anyway, I'm gonna jump over. We're gonna go to some of you guys' questions and comments and whatnot, and then yeah, we'll wrap this up. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna go through a couple of you guys' comments and questions and whatnot, and hopefully more of you guys will find it useful. If you actually watch this, because not many of you do. So for those who do, awesome, appreciate it, thank you. And real quick too, if you're wondering what the hell is going on behind me, I'm actually just installing more games, because like I told you, I'm gonna be working on doing some benchmarks. I'm updating my game library that I'm doing benchmarks with. So yeah, there's gonna be some newer titles there to be more relevant for the time period. So that's for you guys. I invested some very limited monies right now, especially considering the global situation, but to try and keep this as relevant as possible. So anywho, on to you guys' comments. From Stuart Tomoson, so I apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. was actually asking me about the 2070 Superhero from EVGA. It's the XC Hybrid. This is still my daily driver. I love this card. It's what I have in my personal rig, and I use it every day, all day. And he was curious as to what the clocks are that I got off of this thing, because he also owns a car and was just kind of curious where, you know, he stood. And I've had a lot of you asking me like, hey, you know, what clocks are you running, what temps you're getting, things like that. Typically the temps are kind of on demand. I mean, I let it just run with the auto fan setting, and I stay, you know, usually around 50. And that's with the auto fan setting. If I crank the fans up, I can stay well below 50 and probably close to 40 under max load. And, you know, barring like my, the ambient temp in my house a while back was hovering closer to 80, just because I was being lazy, didn't want to turn the AC on yet and whatnot. I was actually kind of enjoying the warm weather because it's been so cold. And even at that point in time, it was staying down, you know, close to like 44 or 45 while gaming with no issue. And again, that's not having the fans cranked up. So, and those temps are with, I typically run right around 2 gigahertz clock speed. So I have it set to like right at like 210, and it'll fluctuate somewhere between 1995 and even higher sometimes. It'll bounce around. And that's with both the voltage and the temperature sliders all the way to the right. I am also rocking now a 500 megahertz memory speed overclock. So from the 7,000 flat that it sits at when you purchase the card new, I'm sitting right at 7501 because for some reason it wants to put the 1 you know, hertz extra on there. So yeah, so that's about where I sit. I was having issues initially with getting the memory to overclock. I was barely able to pull 100, 200 megahertz. And I don't know if the card broke itself in or what, but now I can pull 500 over. I haven't really tried to push it too much further than that because at first, like I said, I wasn't even getting that, and now I am. So I'm happy with that. So again, 7,500 megahertz on the memory speed, right around 2 gigs on the core clock, and I'm hovering between 40 and 50 C temp-wise under heavy load. And again, that's just, you know, the normal average ambient temp. That's not keeping my house like an ice box. You're talking usually, let's say, between 70 and 75 degrees. That's about what my average, you know, interior temp is of my house. So that's my ambient, and I'm sitting around, again, 40 to 50 C, depending on what's going on, and that's with the auto clock tuning, well, the auto fan setting. So that's no adjusting the curve to be more aggressive. So we got that out of the way. I got some visual aids for you. Should have did this first. Anywho, the next one is for the Aorus B450, well, B450 Aorus M. It's a mini ATX motherboard. I love this. This is currently in my wife's rig. You guys saw it when I put it in the MB311 build. So it's still kicking, it's still working, and I've had no issues with it, thankfully. My personal rig, which is also a Gigabyte board, I did have some issues with a long time ago, which if you watched my laptop hard drive video thing, I explained it then. So, Ernie Bonsato commented, if I pair this with a 2600, do I still need to update the board to its most recent BIOS? No, this technically, it says it down here, AMD Ryzen 2000 ready. So all 2000 series chips, it's ready, and that's out the box with its standard BIOS installed. One thing to be aware of is most times, depending on where you buy this, they do update the BIOS, because if you go to like Micro Center and even some Best Buy's one, that they actually update this, so this will work with the compatible 3000 series chips right off the bat. Typically, you'll see somewhere on the box, this one was bought before those released, you'll see a little sticker that'll say like Ryzen 3000 ready, which means they in-house went in, hooked it up to a quick test bench, put a quick processor in it, updated the BIOS to, you know, the most recent or a recent enough version to support the 3000 chipset. Well, 3000 chips. So if you're like, oh no, that might be a problem, don't worry, because when you crack open the box, worst case scenario, you'll have your little CD in here, which will have your basic drivers on there, so that way you can always take it back, technically, if you really wanted to. So just for future reference, this board is Ryzen 1000 and 2000 ready out the box, and depending on where you buy it from, it may already be pre-flashed for 3000. and which I don't think I've addressed yet, but since AMD changed its mind and is now going to allow backwards compatibility for B450s and X470s and things of that nature, be careful going forward. I don't think they're going to pre-flash them for those chips, but you never know. Just watch out. If anything, ask your attendant at whatever store you're buying it from. If you're going to a Micro Center, they'll probably be more than knowledgeable of it and be able to tell you if it's been pre-updated. The next one, we're actually just going to move this off to the side here, was Mr. Bear II commented, and he asked, you realize that 2 fans is plenty, right? Most cases at this price point either have none or one. And that was in regards to the Focus G. And I told him agreed. I did add more fans to this. I'm OCD a little bit when it comes to airflow and keeping things cool because I'm frugal, and that's what I try to tell you guys. I'm always trying to help save you money and get the most bang for your buck. Is when I buy something, because I'm not rich, I want it to last as long as possible. I want to take care of it. I want it to be as reliable as possible. And a sidebar to that a little bit is, I don't know if you guys have watched my older stuff. I did mention like once that I was an automotive technician. I were a mechanic. I worked on cars for a living. I no longer do that because I hurt my back, but that's what I did. So I know all about maintaining and reliability and fixing things and whatnot. And so for me, it's the same thing too. What I own as a vehicle, as a product, any item, I want it to last as long as possible. So most things, again, most, do work better and last longer when they're kept cool. You get them too hot, you abuse them, they will wear down faster. So I like to go a little OCD, plus also with that, with the extra fans, that will, if you can keep it cooler, that will help it stay or reach its boost clocks. I'm not sure if I swore there or not. Boost clocks longer and reach them faster. I think what he's referencing though is mostly what you get for the cost. So to get 2 fans included with the case at that price is farking amazing. I think it's great. And to clear something up too, the Focus G is my full ATX, my normal standard ATX motherboard, recommended case for entry level. The MB311 is my micro ATX case recommendation because the MB311 will not fit a full-size ATX board. So that's if you're going for micro ATX, get the MB311 because that's $59. This is averaging right about $52. If you have a full-size board, get this. If you're looking for an entry-level case that's going to perform well. They both perform great. They both have front mesh. They both have a clear side panel. This is tempered glass. This one's plexi. The MB311 is tempered. So I'm going to stop there, getting too ranty. And then I'm going to try to just help squash some weird rumors online here with this one. Me commented, yo man, are the case fans glued in? I've heard that they are, and that's got me vexed. No. There's really nothing that was glued in for this one, at least for me. I don't know if there's some weird things going on behind the scenes at warehouses and whatnot, but I stripped this one out, and I may have just broke something. Oh, I did. I lost a foot. But the case fans here, they're slotted, so they are screwed in, and you can remove them. I actually put those in the top again of the MB311 because I wanted some ambient lighting because the purple lights actually didn't look bad, especially when using that aspect. So just wanted to clear that up for you guys. Outside of that, yeah, as always, please drop some comments in the comments below. Tell me what you guys think, questions, criticisms, whatever. And yeah, that's all I got for you this week. Outside of that, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.